Hello, it's Glamstract here. Another video, another foundation slash powder review. And today's foundation is by Mer. We have the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation and we also have the Mer The Powder. And in this video, I'm also going to be using the Mer The Brush. This is the powder brush, the fluffiest. The foundation shade that I've picked for myself is 220 Neutral, even though I feel like this is slightly tanner than my complexion. However, I thought it's not too dark, so what I can do, I could probably use this over summertime if I get a little bit of tan. The powder doesn't come with any shade, it's just like a normal translucent powder. And let's jump right into the makeup review. I already my usual skincare down the Origins Mega Mushroom line, and also prepped and primed my skin with a vitamin-enriched face base by Bobbi Brown. Here we go. So this is sort of like a pump and a half of this foundation. I'm going to be using my fingers for this half of my face, and I'm going to be using a foundation brush for my huge forehead. I also do want to let you know that I have already corrected my under eye with the Bobbi Brown corrector. As usual, if you see me looking down, it's because I have a mirror right here. The first thing I can sense in this foundation is the scent that it has. Apparently it's supposed to be the scent of that miracle broth that most of the La Mer products supposed to have. It's really interesting. I guess it's like a secret broth. I don't think you can find anywhere this broth is made of. First application, like feeling it feels very, very emollient. Of course, I've used this foundation before, so pretty much I know how this goes throughout the day and feels. But lightweight, yes, I would say it's pretty lightweight. You cannot feel it on the skin. It does feel very, very emollient. Like it feels like there's some sort of oil in it, but I don't know actually if it's oil free or not. I know it does have SPF 20. It doesn't say anywhere that it has any oils. Probably does, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable or oily, if you know what I mean. It's just like I can feel that slippery, oily effect in between my fingers and when I apply on my skin. Coverage wise, I would definitely say this is like a light to medium coverage, which is pretty pleasant. I think this foundation does oxidize very, very slightly, but it may be that I am feeling like it oxidized because I have a shade which is slightly darker than my skin, but very slightly. But I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comment down below, what do you think? Did it oxidize to you too? But it's very minimal, like it's not as oxidizing as the Dior foundations. Those really oxidize. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but it is giving me a beautiful, healthy glow to the skin. And as I said, because it feels like very emollient, I feel like that's where I'm getting that, luminous effect. I don't know what's the ingredient. I just want to quickly check if there's anything. I mean, this foundation has an ingredient list which is huge. But I mean, scanning through, it does say it has like leaf oil. It has some seeds oil, sesame apparently. Okay, lot of stuff in here. But yeah, it does have some oils. Maybe that's where I'm getting that oily feeling. But it's not oily as if you're oily, you're gonna feel like, ooh. It's not. It's quite settled on the skin right now. So it's not feeling like oily or that you need to pat the shine away right away. And I don't know if you've noticed, now that I've been like reading through that and speaking, I can notice a little bit of oxidization like going on compared to my forehead, which is undone. I can see a little bit of like slightly darkness on my cheeks area. This foundation does last pretty well throughout the day, but if you're a combination to oily skin, you want to get that blotting powder ready because you will gonna need it. Like I'm normal to combination and I truly need it. It makes me feel like oily, and using this foundation, you're gonna need a lot of it. Now I'm gonna take my Dior number 12 foundation brush and do my forehead. This is full face applied. I do have a little bit left on the back of my hand still. So that means that probably with a pump, you'll be able to do the rest of your face. But of course, it's totally up to you. If you like a fuller coverage, then I would go for a second layer. Because right now I'm getting a nice natural light medium. And oh boy, I know I'm not going to be using a lot of bronzer today. because my face is pretty tanned. I mean, compared to my neck is pretty pale compared to my face. I don't know if it's translating in camera, but yeah. Let's go with concealer. Shiseido's Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Concealer, which I really enjoyed. Concealer applied. What I'm gonna do just before I go ahead and apply powder, I do want to dab my face very slightly, because even though it's not extremely oily, I still feel a little bit of tackiness in it. So before I go ahead with the powder brush, I want to avoid messing this one up because it's such a beautiful brush and soft, and I don't want to mess it up right away. So I'm going to tap away some excess and I'll be back very shortly. I have dabbed my skin, and this is the foundation, well, oils that come through and that I dabbed off. So I can see this concealer is set quite quickly, and I didn't do a good job in blending, I think. But anyway, yes, this is the residue, which is quite a lot to be honest, but I was expecting it because I'd done that many times with this foundation. But it's beautiful. I mean, I would leave it like this, but I do want to set it because I want to use the powder. But it's such a gorgeous foundation. Now let's go ahead and use the powder. You know, that name, the powder, as if it's the only one. It's quite beautiful packaging, I have to be honest. It comes with a different sort of puff. It's fluffier, and if you look very closely, it does have some very tiny but very few sparkle, like little particles of sparkle. Is that how you would call them? No, it doesn't have the same scent as the foundation. Even though it says like a translucent universal powder, it does have, I don't know if it catches on camera, but it does have a slight tint to it. Very, very slight, like a nudie beige. I'm gonna go with the Mer brush right into it. It picks up a lot of product. And I'm just gonna dab it on my skin. This brush feels so soft. Oh my god. So soft. I never felt such a soft brush. Even though I do have to say, the Real Technique powder brush, it feels very similar, but there's something about this brush, I don't know, it's different. And very little with this powder goes a long way. What I really like about this powder is that it doesn't feel drying on the skin. You know, sometimes when I apply this setting powder and it gives you that really matte effect, unless you love that effect, props to you, go for it. But this powder, just like the foundation, I think, feels pretty good and moisturizing. Is that a thing? And what I'm doing, I'm just lightly dabbing it on the skin, and I'm using very little. This is powder applied. If we zoom in, I'm going to show you very quickly what this looks like. I just took my mirror a bit up close because I want to inspect it myself as well. It's gorgeous. As I said, that powder didn't dry my skin, because usually powder tend to dry my skin a little bit and makes the foundation looks a little cracky, but this didn't. It's beautiful. The foundation, beautiful. Like, I really have nothing wrong to say about this foundation. Oh, maybe the oiliness of it. Maybe that first time you apply it, you can feel that oil coming through, but once you pat it away and you put a little bit of powder over it, especially if you're like a combination skin, it feels just as good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, your oils are gonna come through today, but that's gonna be with every foundation, really the most mattifying one. But it's good. It's good. I mean, for the price point, it had to be good. I'm gonna go very quickly off camera and do the rest of my face, and for the rest of my face I'm gonna keep it very minimal as usual. Don't expect full on makeup, and I'll come back to give you my final thoughts. And I'm back. This is full face complete. As you can see, I kept it really natural. Let me quickly give you a roundup of what I've used on my skin. Bronzer, my new favorite, the Tom Ford in shade Terra, but I went very, very lightly with this because my skin is already pretty bronzed because of this foundation. For blush, I've used the Color Infusion by Laura Mercier and I've used it in shade Strawberry. For highlighter, I've used the Kilowatt Foil in shade Sand Castle by Fenty Beauty. For my eyes, I just lightly dusted a little bit of the bronzer from Tom Ford. For brows, my usual Brow MVP by Fenty Beauty. And for my lips, I've used the Extra Lip Tint in shade Bear Pink by Bobbi Brown. And yeah, this concludes the video about my mini collection of La Mer, which I believe is just the basics, foundation, powder and brush. I really enjoy this foundation. No matter this is a little bit too oily on the skin at first, but as I said, tap it away and then throughout the day use a little blotting powder, and this foundation will make sure that it stays fresh and beautiful looking all day around. Of course, the powder, beautiful powder. It doesn't feel dry like a lot of powders do. And yeah, it's just really good. I think the name is spot on. It's the powder. And the brush, oh my god, so soft. If you have not experienced, go to your nearest store that has a La Mer counter. Just go and feel it. I know you'll probably be able to find similar brushes for much cheaper, but this is an experience. So soft. And I also heard that it's pretty easy to wash, which it's a plus. And yes, this concludes my La Mer review. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment down below, what do you think about this foundation? Have you used it before? What are your thoughts? And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs up as well, because why not? Let's spread the love. And also follow me here while you're here on YouTube, why not? You can also find me on Instagram. You can search me there at Glamstract as well. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.